And I said a couple of things on a song on a mixtape,
Hmm.
and he came back, said a few things, and it started becoming kind of more personal as we went along.
Hmm.
I was saying how pretty much like with him, I was just, it's not necessarily that he can't rap or nothing like that. It's just, I was just trying to make it a point like he would get to do shit on MTV, whereas black rappers wouldn't be able to do it
Right,
so
right,
easy. Um, I was just pointing that out,
right.
just showing how I felt like he was getting white privilege.
Mm,
And, you know, like people on the Source magazine loved him,
right,
like the staff loved him.
right.
But I just told them to pump their brakes because, let's like analyze this a little deeper for what it is. Like hip hop is supposed to be for us, for the streets,
Facts.
for the, what I'm saying? And not saying that white people or any race for that matter can be involved, but let's understand who hip hop is supposed to benefit. And, you know, you know what I mean? Like this is our shit, And we went back and forth a little bit. You said some personal shit. I said some
Yeah.
personal shit. I never met him, ever.
Really?
Yeah,
Like personally, you guys never met like face to face at all?
uh-uh, uh-uh.
Wow.
I asked for a sit down. You know, I asked to sit down with him with Jimmy. So
Jimmy
we ended,
Iovine, right?
hmm
Okay.
we ended up finding like these white dudes ended up showing up at the source office with some tapes, and it was he was doing some racist like music or whatever
Right.
when he was younger,
Yeah.
and
Calling
and they
black people porch monkeys and shit in his music. I
yeah,
know what
yeah,
you mean. Yeah.
and they was trying to expose him. So we ended up buying the tape. They were trying to sell it 50,000. We
Hmm.
ended up buying it for like 15. And
Wow.
yeah, so these was his boys, the ones that he grew up with.
Right.
Um,
Now,
so
now I know media wise. Now I know media wise. I know you owning. You were you don't. Do you still own Double XL or did you
no,
or not?
no,
Okay.
it was the source.
The source. Okay, I got the source magazine. That's
Yeah,
right. You were the editor in
yeah.
chief, correct?
XXL bid us. Like they came
Ah, there we
after us.
go.
You know
I
what I'm
got it.
saying?
I
Yeah.
got it.
Yep. 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 So
Yeah.
no, we don't. Me and Dave don't own it no more. It was me and Dave Mays
Okay.
back in the time where it wasn't no internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We was the internet.
So moving away from like from it just being on. So I guess it never made its way past the wax because you guys never met face to face. So it's never a thing because growing up we listened to that music and I've heard all the diss tracks. I've heard all of yours. I've heard all of his growing up. I used to listen to him. You know what I mean? And it
hmm
was like you would think that you guys were in the streets about to like seriously get down, man, based on the things that you guys were
Yeah,
were
but nah,
saying.
but look at though. But look, and I don't want to keep rehashing this because he got a
Absolutely.
lot of fans out there, but he's not built like that. That's
Mm,
not. He's not. He don't come from where we come from. Like he don't live that life. He don't know about guys dying all the time, and like he don't go through that guns and murder and death and what I'm saying, emergency room visits and like that's what we go through. That's what I went through. So
right.
it was never gonna get to that. Like I
No.
knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well you had some a few legal, run-ins and stuff like that. So you weren't really trying to get off into that street violence situation anyway, right? I mean, we know in the past, yeah, you was all for it, but as your profile grows, your interests have to grow too, right?
Well, I mean, like just as being more mature and getting older, you start to, what I'm saying, like you're supposed to better yourself and you're supposed to like progress. So of
Right.
course, though, definitely the way I was thinking before, I don't, I don't think like that now. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Where I don't bark at every car that comes by. You
Absolutely.
like that's a natural progression. I mean, when I look back at it, like I said, battling has been a part of hip hop from day one, so that's there. Now it never got to no physical situation with us. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yes.
never got there. I didn't, because I necessarily didn't take him serious for it to go there as far as physical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he's not gonna, I wasn't worried about that part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, listen, man, I got by it. He got by it. You know what I mean? it was a time in hip hop, I guess, where
It was needed though. I'm gonna tell you, Benzino,
you
it
think
was needed
so?
at that
You
time
think so? You
because
think so?
because I'm telling you, battle rap at the time on Wax, that was the main event for us. I mean, the Jay Z and Nas's and all those different beats. What was it? We got Cassidy and Beans, like all these different beefs. You know what I mean? That we needed that at the time. So you guys did push the culture forward with that. So you know what I mean. So it's still that there on a certain level, it is to be appreciated, and those flowers definitely need to be given for that,
I
man.
mean, listen, Eminem's a great artist, man. He stood the test of time. He has a big fan base. Like shit, I respect all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, times move on. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah. I'm not gonna keep harboring the same type of emotions or feelings. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he's a hot artist. Now, I will say, um, not necessarily the type of music that I would listen to. He's had a
Right.
couple of bangers that I do appreciate, but on the whole, as far as the way he raps or type of rapper, that's not my type of rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas that, Jay-Z, Scarface, Nas, Future, I can go on and on. It's not like Eminem is whack at all. He's very
Yeah.
skilled. Probably one of the top skillists, if you want to say lyrical, in the type of rap that he does, but not just my cup of tea. That's all.
Yeah. No, you're allowed to that. You're allowed to that. Okay, well, we could put that to bed. I just never personally found out what it was all about. I just remember listening to the records and just being like, dude, these guys genuinely hate each other. But I think maybe do you think there was a business aspect to that maybe, I mean, you were the editor in chief and owner of
Nah,
a
nah, nah.
magazine.
I didn't like him. I didn't like him.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't like him.
So it was personally you would never have really fucked with Eminem in the first place if you know what I
if
mean, if
if
you
if if he if we would have had the conversation like I
mm,
like I hope we would have had to sit down and just kicked it with each other,
yeah,
then maybe the conversation could have seen some type of similarities, and and our differences probably wasn't as bad as we thought, but it never took place. So all we could go by is just the diss tracks and how we perceive
right.
each other. Like I'm sure he didn't like me either. You know what I mean? Shit. So like that went both ways.
Absolutely. No, absolutely, man. Okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about, man. Look, like I said, those were classics that y'all dropped. You know what I mean? And I mean, thank you for doing that for the culture. Now, let's move on to your television career, because I mean, I feel like that's where people got to know the face of Benzino. Because I mean, you worked for a lecturer in Motown, so we already know you were attached to a lot of greats and helped produce for a lot of greats out there. So we know about the music. So we can go and we can look that up on Google. But what people don't, we want to go after what people don't know about. So talk to me a little bit about your experience with Carly, man, with Carly Red, man, on Love and Hip Hop, and this is crazy. I mean, is all of that shit true, or I've heard that they chop up footage and they make you seem a certain way. Was that really the dynamic between you two?
I'm saying, like, like, I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for me. But
Yes.
everything on Love and Hip Hop with me was real.
Okay.
That was, yeah. I had never did
Uh oh. Oh, hold on. He probably got locked up by accident. He'll be back. Hey, he will probably be logging back in. Jay, you gonna check on that?
Yeah, I felt like I could just, yeah,
Hey, yo,
Oh, there
I
he is. There
felt
he is.
like
There he is.
I felt like I could just be me and get a nice check, and it was cool. Now, like prior to Love and Hip Hop, I had dated a gang of celebrity women. You know what I mean? Like nobody would never know because I was always like kind of on the low with mine. It's like, you know, I didn't kiss and tell. I wasn't trying to be all, like on Front Street.
Mm-hmm.
So my relationships was always kind of, quiet. But with definitely high profile women, actresses, rappers, and like video models. I mean, all kind of chicks. So, and I'm not bragging about it. It's just that
I hear
when
you.
I got on Love and Hip Hop, it was it was just different to try to like, okay, you're gonna be showing like your relationship life on TV.
Right.
So what I figured was, all right, well, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have one chick. I'm not gonna be messing around with nobody.
Right.
So I had been in Atlanta a few months, was talking to a few, and I just cut everybody off. I said, okay, if I'm gonna holler at Carly, it's just gonna be her because I knew if I go on TV and try to juggle two, three, four chicks, that shit is gonna blow up in my face. And I had seen how everybody else was going through it. I'm just not. I wasn't with all that. I never like. I'm not with the like the female drama and chicks
Right. It feel
beefing and
like
all
the
that dumb
TV
shit.
aspect of it that they were trying to spin it that way, and that they were trying to, kind of attack character a little bit, because if you talk to most women that seen that, a lot of them would drag you on there based on what they saw, but I mean they weren't there for the behind the scenes and had to deal with the drama you had to deal with on and off set. So I do understand that.
Exactly. No, no, no. That's a great point because believe me, whatever you see on camera, you don't know what you have to go home with. Like, believe me,
Yeah.
it's like reality TV ain't for everybody. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? For real. But when I was on reality TV, I messed with one woman at a time.
Right.
One woman. I wasn't trying to mess with two and three, four chicks. I didn't have drama with two and three, four chicks. It was one. When they seen me, it was with Carly after Carly. They seen me out there, and that was it. They didn't see me like trying to mess with this one and that one because, like I said, I knew you can't win like that. The only
Right.
one who can win like that is Sleeves, is Stevie. He's the only one that I've seen can really you know, like kind of let that happen, and then America would still love him.
No,
Everybody
absolutely.
else, everybody else, gets a bad rap. So I don't, if I'm not gonna do it in real life as far as
Why
have
the fuck would I
drama,
do it on
I'm not
camera?
gonna go on TV and just manufacture some shit. So I got with Carly, me and her, we try to make it work. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like it ended up she was cheating.
Right.
So from there, I already had my spot on Love and Hip Hop, and
Oh,
then
so she got popped for cheating. It wasn't you stepping out initially, it was her.
nah, hell no, hell no.
Uh-huh.
Because remember, I was gonna propose to her, and then I was gonna
Yeah.
give it a ring, and then I took it back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that had never been done on TV before.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was crazy.
So
I mean, when I tell you, bro, Black Twitter, you broke Black Twitter that night, bro. When that shit went down, I would tell you that's the that's the facts. Now, Althea, you ended up you guys had a son together, right?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. He's over here with me now, Zeno. He here with me right now.
okay, shout out to your son.
Hmm.
Shout out to your
Yep,
son.
yep.
But the engagement got broken off. I mean, what do you think that the media being involved and being in the middle of things could have maybe caused that split a little bit?
I mean, with that, what I'm saying? Like, um, from the very beginning, I just think people just want to be on TV. In that situation, I just think TV was the most important situation,
Right,
and then where it could have been love, once the TV and fame got involved, it was like, all right, Zeno, thank you, see you later. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So but the great thing is that like we had an amazing little boy. Like Zeno is so dope, and I'm so glad that he's in my life.
That's
So
right.
I'm 57, and he'll hit and he'll be 7.
Okay,
So I'm an older dad, and I love being a dad. I love being a father. So
that's right.
this
That's
is
right.
dope. Yeah.